Episode 42, The Ivory Spire. Rian's plan was put into action immediately. He sent a formal letter to the Ivory Spire in the name of the Shadow Foxes. The contents of the letter were shocking. We have obtained the ancient artifact that the Shadow Cult covets, the Eye of the Void. This artifact is a dangerous object that could destroy the world. We are seeking a way to destroy or seal it, and for this purpose, we propose a joint research effort with the Archsages of the Spire. If you accept this proposal, we will reveal the artifact at a designated location and share all information. However, if you reveal this fact to the outside or attempt to attack us, we will destroy the artifact immediately. The Spire will be responsible for any and all resulting calamities. It was both a threat and an irresistible temptation. The mages of the Ivory Spire were individuals who had dedicated their entire lives to studying ancient knowledge and magic. They were not about to miss the opportunity to study an artifact that had, until then, only existed in legend. After several days of heated debate, the Spire's Council of Elders decided to accept Ryan's proposal. They felt a great sense of humiliation for having lost Archsage Julian to the Shadow Cult, and wanted to use this opportunity to uncover the cult's secrets. On the appointed day, Ryan went to the Ivory Spire alone. Seraphina, Ilara, and the Shadow Foxes waited outside, prepared for any contingency. The Ivory Spire was, just as its name suggested, a white tower that looked as if it were carved from a giant tusk of ivory. A powerful magical barrier surrounded the tower, and the air roared with the energy of pure prana. At the entrance of the spire, Ryan was received by 3 elder mages. They were wary of him, but they could not take their eyes off the shielding pouch in his hand. "Are you the envoy of the Shadow Foxes?" asked one of the elders, Master Elio. "Not the envoy. The leader," Ryan answered confidently. They guided Ryan to the top floor of the spire, to the council chamber. The room looked like a vast library, and dozens of high-ranking mages were waiting for him. Their gazes fell upon Ryan like sharp blades. "Show us the artifact," Elio said. Ryan slowly took the Eye of the Void from the pouch. As the jewel was revealed, all the mages in the room held their breath. The primordial magic and the aura of the void emanating from the Eye of the Void were on a completely different level from any magic they had studied in their entire lives. This is truly an ancient power. While the mages were captivated by the artifact, Ryan got straight to the point. The Shadow Cult isn't the only one hunting this artifact. You have a spy in your very midst. What nonsense is this? Lord Valerius is controlling your Archsage Julian, and perhaps someone in this very room is conspiring with him. At Ryan's bombshell declaration, the chamber erupted in murmurs. The mages began to look at each other with suspicion. Just then, one of the elders, Master Orion, stood up and aimed his staff at Ryan. "How dare this filthy thief try to sow discord in the spire? Guards, seize him at once." But before his shout could even finish, his body was engulfed in black smoke, and he let out a terrible scream. Beneath his robes, the sigil of the Shadow Cult was burning. A rune of truth, which Ryan had planted in advance, had activated, reacting to a lie told by someone associated with the cult. Ryan was Valerius' spy. The chamber was thrown into chaos. Ryan, as if he had anticipated all of this, calmly secured the Eye of the Void once more, and shouted, "Now do you believe me, wise masters? Your enemy is not outside, but right here among you. If you do not join hands with me, This great spire will eventually be swallowed by the shadows. Ryan's audacious gambit had shaken the seemingly impregnable ivory spire to its very foundation. Episode 43, Cracks and an Alliance. The revelation of Master Orion's identity threw the ivory spire into chaos. It was an incident that tarnished the purity and honor they had protected for centuries. The Council of Elders declared a state of emergency and began a sweeping investigation to root out all cult associates within the spire. In the process, Ryan solidified his status not merely as a thief or informant, but as the sole outside collaborator who could resolve this crisis. Master Elio, the chairman of the Council of Elders, summoned Ryan to his private study. He was a white-haired old man, but his eyes were as deep and wise as the night sky. "I must admit, your audacity is astonishing, young man," Elio said. "Thanks to you, you were able to discover the cancer within our walls. Now tell me what you want. How can we help you?" "I need your power," Rian said bluntly. "Lord Valerius is trying to use the Eye of the Void to free the ancient being Aksha, who will destroy the world. To stop him, we must find the other 6 fragments of the Void. Before he does, fragments of the Void." Elio fell into deep thought. "Those are artifacts of legend, mentioned only in the Spire's most ancient forbidden texts. No one knows their location. But you have a way to find them," Ryan said. "Using your knowledge and magic, you can amplify the faint resonance from the Eye of the Void and track the approximate locations of the other fragments." Elio agonized over Ryan's proposal. It was an extremely dangerous task. In the process of tracking the fragments, the power might surge out of control, or Valerius himself might detect their location. But he knew he had no other choice. "Very well, I accept your proposal," Leo decided. "We will help you track the fragments of the Void. In return, you must agree to stop Valerius with us and to seal all recovered fragments under the Spire's control." A fair trade. A formal alliance was forged between Ryan and the Ivory Spire. Ryan was no longer alone. He now had a powerful ally at his back, the strongest cabal of mages on the continent. The mages of the Spire immediately began their research. They enshrined the Eye of the Void in the Astral Observatory, located in the deepest part of the Spire. They began to track its resonance using a massive magical amplification device. A few days later, the first result came out. "We found it," Elio said, his voice laced with excitement. He pointed to a faint point of light that had appeared on a giant magical map. "The second fragment is asleep deep in the ruins of the Forgotten Temple in the misty swamplands of the south." But there was bad news as well. It seems that as soon as we pinpointed the fragment's location, Valerius learned of it too. We've received intelligence that his army has already begun to move south. It was now a race against time. Rian and his companions had to reach the Forgotten Temple before Valerius had secured the second fragment of the Void. Ryan formed an expedition team with Serafina, Ilara, and a few elite members of the Shadow Foxes. The Ivory Spire promised them various magical tools and support troops. Their new journey was about to begin, moving beyond the city of Ethereum, a grand treasure hunt set on the stage of the entire continent, and a war for the fate of the world had just begun.